Okay, guys, so let's resume studying again. Like we stated here, chapter 9, we stopped at the part where here we see that Boxer is feeling better, okay, and recovering. Maya was telling us about his injury, which resulted from the battle of the windmill. Okay, so here we see that Boxer is recovering. All right, he's starting to become or feel better. And here, Boxer started working harder than ever. Okay, even though, despite the fact that his demeanor or his appearance looked different, and Maya, you didn't get a chance to answer that part, but we mentioned that he was becoming very thin. All right, he was losing all his body muscle. Okay, or his muscular appearance and his strength. And they all thought that maybe when the spring grass would come back on, he would have a chance to graze more or to eat more, and therefore he would start to, look better or put on more weight. Okay. But that didn't happen. Okay, so here again, with aging and with very little food being offered and hunger, and of course with him overworking himself, we see that he is becoming slimmer, and he's losing his strength. Okay, so one day, all right, Boxer decided to actually go and gather some stone for the again for the accumulation of the stone for the rebuilding of the windmill. All right, so sometimes on the slope leading to the top, he would not be able to continue. And again, he would try as much as very hard, by saying, "I will work harder." And we see here that Boxer, it keeps pushing himself. And again, Clover and Benjamin told him to take care of himself, because he is about to turn 12 and very close to his retiring age. And he did not care what happened, as long as enough stone was in storage or accumulated before he went on pension. And of course, this was the rations that they're going to be given when they retire. Late one evening in the summer, a sudden rumor ran around the farm that something had happened to Boxer. He had gone out along to drag a load of stone down the windmill. And sure enough, the rumor was true. A few minutes later, the two pigeons came racing in the news. Boxer has fallen, and he's lying on his side and cannot get up. Okay, so here we see that Boxer, in an attempt to carry a load of stone, he could not do it anymore. His body gave up on him, and he collapsed, and he is unable to pick himself and get up. Of course, here we see that all the animals, or about half the animals on the farm, rushed down to see what's wrong with him. And they saw that Boxer was laying there between the shafts of the cart, and his neck was stretched out, unable even to raise his head. His eyes were glazed, and his sides were matted with sweat. A thin stream of blood trickled out of his mouth. Clover dropped to her knees at his side. Okay, so here we see that the animals, especially Clover and Benjamin, are going to be very worried about Boxer's well being. Okay, so we see that he is exhausted, he's tired, he's bleeding from the mouth, and he's unable to get up. Boxer, she cried, "How are you?" "It is my lung," said Boxer in a weak voice. "It does not matter. I think you will be able to finish the windmill without me. There is a pretty good store of stone accumulated. I had only another month to go in any case. To tell you the truth, I've been looking forward to my retirement, and perhaps as Benjamin is growing old too, they will let him retire at the same time and be my companion." Okay, so basically, here we see that Boxer, he has lost hope that he would be able to continue with any work, and he's looking forward just to retiring in peace, and maybe even retiring along with Benjamin, who's also close to the retirement age himself. Okay, and we see here that he again is very concerned, and his only concern is, did he accumulate enough stone for the rebuilding of the windmill? And just remember that the reason behind his death is that his lungs, okay, they're no longer able to carry on with the breathing. Okay, so here this is his problem. "We must get help at once," said Clover. She run somebody and tell Squealer what has happened. Okay, so now they're trying to get, of course, the pig's attention so that they could rescue Boxer and get him the help needed. All the other animals immediately raced back to the farmhouse to give Squealer the news. Only Clover remained, and Benjamin, who lay down at Boxer's side. And without speaking, they kept the flies off of him with his long tail. Okay, so basically everybody was concerned, and they are trying to get Squealer's attention and even Napoleon's attention to get the necessary help needed for Boxer. Okay, Squealer appeared and he was full with sympathy. He said that Comrade Napoleon had learned, and with the very deepest distress of this misfortune, to one of his most loyal workers on the farm, and was already making arrangements to send Boxer to be treated in the hospital at Willingdon. Okay, so here we see that again, Boxer is, Napoleon is very upset, or so Squealer claims, that Boxer is very distressed. That means, he's very upset over this unfortunate, upsetting news that one of his most loyal workers is now hurt. So they will be sending him to the hospital in Willingdon, where a vet is going to see him. However, the animals were not comfortable with this idea because no one or no animal has ever left the farm except for Molly and Snowball. And of course, when you think of Molly and Snowball, these two animals left and they never came back. Okay, so it kind of made them feel sick to think that one of their comrades, one of their fellow animals, okay, is going to be in the hands of another, of a human being who's going to treat him. So that gave them a very funny feeling, or an uncomfortable feeling. However, Squealer easily convinced them that a veterinary surgeon could do a better job at treating Boxer in the hospital, much more than treating him on the farm. Okay, so the animals here are convinced that it's necessary for Boxer to get the treatment that he needs in the hospital rather than on the farm. That means that he must leave. Okay, about a half an hour later, when Boxer had somewhat recovered, he was with difficulty gotten on his feet, and he managed to limp back to his stall, where Clover and Benjamin had prepared a good bed of straw for him. Okay, so they took him back to his stall so that he could rest. For the next 2 days, Boxer remained in his stall. The pigs had sent out a large bottle of pink medicine, which they had found in the medicine chest in the bathroom, and Clover administered it to Boxer twice a day after meals. Okay, so they're giving him this pink medication after he eats. In the evenings, she lay in his stall and talked to him. This is Clover, while Benjamin kept the flies off of him. Boxer professed not to be sorry for what had happened. If he had made a good recovery, he might expect to live another 3 years. And he looked forward to the peaceful days that he would spend in the corner of the big pasture. It would be the first time he had leisure to study and improve his mind. He intended, he said, to devote the rest of his life to learning the remaining 22 letters of the alphabet. Okay, remember, he never was able to get past the four, the A, B, C, and D. Okay, so now he was looking forward to learning more, or learning the alphabet, and spending his time to basically educate himself and improve his mindset, because we know that Boxer has the physical strength, but previously did, and he just lacked the intelligence, or even was unable to even get his thoughts together to actually express himself, which was one of his flaws. However, Benjamin and Clover could only be with Boxer after working hours, and it was in the middle of the day when the van came to take him away. So no one was with Boxer when this van came to take him. Okay, the animals were at work in the fields. They were at work weeding the turnips and under the supervision of a pig. And they were astonished to see Benjamin come galloping from the direction of the farm building, braying at the top of his voice. It was the first time they had ever seen Benjamin come with such excitement. So, what is the news that Benjamin is coming to deliver? Benjamin is coming to deliver the news of that Boxer is being taken away. Okay, and he's very alert. Benjamin is very usually very cynical, very quiet. He doesn't show any type of reaction, whether good or bad. But this time, this is the first time that we see him reacting in such a panicked way. Okay, he's very panicked, and he's telling the animals to come quickly because there is a van that is coming to take away Boxer. Now, of course, here we see that the animals are panicked, okay, and they left without even telling the pig that's in charge that they're going. And they raced back to the farmhouse, And in the yard, they saw a van, okay, like a little wagon that was pulled by a horse. And the man that was driving it, again, basically had Boxer in possession, and Boxer's stall was empty. The animals crowded around the van, so they're surrounding the van saying, "Goodbye, Boxer, goodbye." Okay, and Benjamin here for the first time speaks up. Okay, remember, Benjamin is able to read, but he just never cared enough to read for the animals. Okay, he just kept it to himself and just didn't care. For the first time, we see that he is assertive. He starts to call his comrades or the rest of the animals fools. Fools, fools, shouted Benjamin, prancing around them, okay, and stomping the earth with his small hoofs. You fools, do you not see what is written on the side of that van? That gave the animals pause, and there was a hush. Muriel began to spell out the words, but Benjamin pushed her aside, and in the middle of a deadly silence, he read, okay, this is the name, or this is what's written on the van: Alfred Simmons, horse slaughterer and glue boiler, Willingdon, dealer in hides and bone meal, kennels supplied. Do you not understand what that means? They're taking Boxer to the knackers. Okay, so again, here we see that Squealer has deceived the animals or tricked them into believing that Boxer is going to be taken to the hospital where he will be getting medical help. This is absolutely not true. As the van is written on the side of the van, it belongs to a horse slaughterer or people that deal with horses. They take the horse or the sickly or the dying horse or the very old horse that's unable to do any or perform any work, and they slaughter them. So basically, a boxer is being sold. And in return, Napoleon and the rest of the pigs are getting money. Okay, they're going to receive an actual profit for selling boxer to these people. All right, because those people take the bones and the body of the horse and they do things with it. Okay, so it's kind of like a business. Okay, so here a cry of horror. The animal starts to cry and they panic. All right, and of course they feel that they need to save Boxer. Okay, so they began to run after the van. All right, telling them, crying out, "Boxer, Boxer!" And of course, here Boxer face appeared in the window or in the small window of the van. Okay, Boxer, get out quickly. They're taking you to your death. All right, so this is Clover trying to alert Boxer. Okay, all the animals took up the cry of, "Get out, Boxer, get out." But the van was already speeding outside of the gates or out the gates of Animal Farm. Okay, they weren't sure if Boxer understood what they said, but a moment later, his face disappeared and there was a tremendous drumming of hoofs inside the van. So, as if Boxer was trying to fight his way out, but he couldn't, he was trying to kick his way out. The time had been when a few kicks from Boxer's hoofs would have smashed the van to matchwood. But alas, his strength had left him. So, we see that Boxer maybe did understand the message, but he was unable to kick his way out of the van because his strength has left him. He's very weak and frail. And in a few moments, the sound of the hoofs or the drumming of the hoofs died away. Okay, the animals were in desperation. They began talking to the horse, the one that's pulling the wagon. Remember, he's another comrade, but again, he's too ignorant to realize what's happening. They told him, or they asked the horse, "Do not take your own brother to his death." So they're talking to the again to the horse that's pulling the wagon, asking the horse to stop and to not take a comrade like him to his own death. But of course, this he was a stupid horse, too ignorant to realize what's happening, and merely set back their ears and quickened their pace. Okay, Hannah, do you have a question?
Miss Hawa, I was researching some stuff about my project, and then I saw that some questions were, يعني that were recommended in the Google. It said, "Why did Napoleon kill Boxer?" So, how is it Napoleon killed Boxer when not Napoleon? It was then when he went to the Knackers.
Oh no, here no, they don't mean that Napoleon killed Boxer with like physically with his own hands. He sent him. He was the one that made the call. Remember, Squealer said that Napoleon had made arrangements to send Boxer to the hospital. All right, so basically, it was Napoleon's idea to send Boxer to the Knackers. So Napoleon was responsible for his death. And in what return? What is the return, or why did he sell? Or he was basically selling Boxer to the Knackers. So in return, he was getting some financial gain or profit. And we're gonna see at the end of this chapter that he's going to use this money to purchase a basket or a cart of whiskey. Okay, and him and the pigs are going to drink and have fun. Okay, so this is the reason, or this is when you understood the question, Hannah, you're understanding it in a way that Napoleon is actually the one who murdered Boxer. No, he's not the one that actually murdered him. However, he is responsible for his death because he's the one who arranged for the knackers to come and take him away. Do you understand that now?
Ah, yes, thank you.
Okay, and the reason behind that, Hannah, would be financial gain. Okay, financial gain or money because he's selling him into the knackers so they can make use of him. Okay, of his body parts and so on. Okay, you understand now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, perfect. So 3 days later, of course, now the animals are all upset over Boxer's disappearance. Okay, and 3 days later, we see that Squealer comes in and tells them that Boxer had died in the hospital, all right, at the hospital, and he was present with him during that time. Of course, these are lies, okay, because we already know the truth. However, Squealer is going to try to twist the truth and make the animals believe otherwise. So the first lie he makes the animals believe is that that Boxer was indeed taken to the hospital. Number two, that Squealer himself was present at the moment of Boxer's death, and he was right with him by his side on his deathbed. And he told them, he played on their emotion. Okay, he was crying in tears, of course, very fake, telling them that it was Boxer was saying that he wishes that his comrades would continue in rebuilding the windmill, that his last words were in the name of the rebellion and long live Animal Farm and long live Comrade Napoleon, and that Napoleon is always right. Okay, these were his final words. And Squealer, of course, his demeanor suddenly changed. Then he is going to attack the rumors. Okay, he starts to tell the animals that I heard that some of the animals here are saying the rumor that we had sent Boxer to a van that marked horse slaughter. Okay, of course he's gonna have to fight that because he doesn't want the animals to think that Napoleon is did such harm to Boxer. So how does he cover up this lie? He says that the van was indeed okay. Whatever was written on it is true. However, this van now belongs to a veterinary surgeon that just did not have the time to change the painting on the van because he purchased it from a horse slaughterer. Okay, so it's like, for example, I bought a car from Hannah, and Hannah's car says Hannah outside, and I'm driving it. So everybody thinks that I'm driving Hannah's car, but essentially, I just didn't get a chance to change the name from Hannah to Yasmin. Okay, so this is what he is saying, that the van that picked up Boxer, yes, indeed, it did say horse slaughterer, but this is because the veterinary surgeon that bought the van never had a chance to paint over or to remove the painting of the term horse slaughterer from on it, but the van was indeed owned by a vet surgeon. Okay, which is of course not true. Okay, so the animals are they buy this lie, and they actually become very happy and very relieved, like thank God Boxer didn't die such a horrible death. Okay, they do not want to believe that their own comrades would do such a thing to such a great comrade that they had. Okay, Squealer even assured them that Boxer was given the most expensive medication. Okay, and they gave him everything that he could possibly needed, and that he died a very happy death. Okay, so the animals felt very happy. The next day, on Sunday, they had an honorary session to honor basically Boxer's death in the form of a banquet. Okay, and they made a lot of things. Okay, like what? And one of the most important things that I need you guys to remember, that Boxer's remains, or the body, okay, was never returned to the farm for interment. And interment means burial. Okay, they never had a body to bury under the ground. And why so? Because we know that the knackers are going to use his body for production of other goods. Okay, so here they explained. Napoleon explains to the animals that, unfortunately, Boxer's body was never returned to the farm for burial. However, they made a grave site for Boxer, and they decorated it with a large wreath. And a large wreath is like a floral decoration that we use for Christmas. It's like a circle of flowers, and they placed it on Boxer's grave. Okay, they had a memorial banquet. Okay, need to remember that, to honor Boxer's death. And of course, Napoleon reminded the animals that they should all be like Napoleon. Okay, I mean that they Napoleon reminded the animals that they should all be like Boxer and adopt his maxims of "I will work harder" and "Napoleon is always right," because of course these are the best two things that he would want from them: to kill themselves to work, okay, labor very hard, blame everything on themselves, and if anything goes wrong, they should push themselves to just, I will work harder. And this is how Boxer attacked all his problems, or all the problems on the farm. He blamed himself for it, and he said, you know what? I must work harder. Okay. And Napoleon is always right. Of course, here the chapter ends with, of course, at the end of the chapter, after during the banquet, a van pulls up, and delivers a large wooden crate to the farmhouse. Okay, and this large wooden crate, of course, was a crate of whiskey. All the animals were thinking to themselves, how did the pigs get the money to purchase such whiskey? Okay, and of course, we all know the answer. The money was from Boxers, or selling Boxer to the knackers. Okay, and of course, Napoleon is responsible for that. They get drunk, and they are starting to sing, and crash and act wild. And of course, they did not wake up until 11 the next day, and that's the end. That's the end of the chapter 9. Okay, so we see how deceiving the pigs are. This particularly Napoleon and Squealer, of how they hide or twist the truth. Okay, so let's now play this game as quick
Miss
review. Yes,
Miss, do I have a question?
sure.
Miss, do they ever يعني rebel like they did in Jones' days?
No, no, they're not. They're not. Joseph Stalin was very strong and powerful, and they all lived in fear. Okay, so they were too afraid, Hannah, to rebel, and they're just. We're gonna see that in chapter 10. Things even get more and more worse. Um, and that would be the end for for the book. The animals will not. It will not show us another rebellion for the animals. No.
Miss, I have a question.
Yes. Let's join.
Like how,
While we're talking, let's join. Yes, Judy, go ahead.
uh, like how, what do the seven commandments symbolize?
The
And
rules,
like,
the seven commandments are the rules of animalism, which is basically equivalent to the idea of communism. Okay, they didn't have rules
uh,
for communism. However, the communism was believed to it was a big belief of equality. Okay, that we're all equal, we're all comrades. But of course, George Orwell played on the fact that we should not be like the humans, meaning that we should not copy other dictators. Okay, but Napoleon doesn't do that. Okay, other dictators were indeed copied. Are we guys? Are we joining? Okay.
Yes, I'm joining.
Okay, all right. So let's join while I'm answering Judy's question. So for communism, Judy, there weren't any real seven commandments for that. Okay, but George Orwell represented the seven commandments, okay, as an idea to show that these were the rules of communism per se, and one by one, how the pigs are going to destroy them. Okay, remember the idea of the commandments were not to depict anything like the humans. No animal shall live in a bed, sleep in a bed. No animal shall drink, trade with the humans. That basically all animals are equal. So all these rules are we gonna see them? They're being broken. And why did they set these rules up? Because they didn't want to imitate their previous dictator, which was Mr. Jones. Okay, slowly we're seeing that Napoleon is becoming more and more like Mr. Jones. And this is the idea of Joseph Stalin. All right, Tsar Nicholas, when they kicked them out, why did they ask him, or why did they rebel against him? Essentially, because he was a harsh dictator that didn't feel for the peasants or for the common people, okay, such as Boxer and so on. But we'll see that Napoleon promised to be different, as Joseph Stalin promised to be different. Did we see a difference really? Or did we see abuse of power?
Abusive. Power.
Exactly. That's the whole point of, or the whole point that George Orwell is trying to represent in the book. Okay, you understand that, Judy, now? The seven
Yes,
commandments,
thank
or
you.
the idea of why George Orwell represented them, to see how they're going to be broken one by one. Bit by bit, these commandments just vanish and they're altered, changed, or whatever, just to please Napoleon or to his advantage. Okay. All right. I'm still waiting for more people. I only have seven participants. Exactly. Guys, come on. Let's quickly join.
Miss, I won't be able to join because it's telling me that my internet is weak.
Okay.
This is the last game of the year, maybe.
We'll probably have one more for chapter 10. And that's
Okay.
Chapter 10 will be the
فعلا.
last novel day.
yes. Yes, it will. I hope you guys like the novels we read this year. Did you guys like them?
I liked it, but I like the boy in striped pajamas يعني,
Oh,
more.
Me
yeah, I
too.
know. I'm sure that you guys liked it more. But Animal Farm is a classic. Guys, I'm sure when you guys grow up and you have your own children, they probably will also learn Animal Farm. I learned it when I was in grade 8, I'm telling you. So this is something that like I'm glad that you guys read it because it's such a classic and it's not gonna vanish. It's not gonna end. This is something that I'm telling you that your kids will probably read, and when they come to you and you guys you can help them inshallah with it. Okay, so yeah, please don't forget it. It's a classic. You won't be able to.
Yeah, we will go like, yeah, Mrs. Finka بتدينا كانت نوفل جميلة
Yeah,
جدا.
yes. And Mrs. Me is
بس
like
يا
50
احنا
ريت أنا
years old
عايشة.
دلوقتي.
هنساعد في كل حاجة إلا النحو.
Grammar, you will. You better. Grammar, you will.
Mhm. اه
Okay, and when that happens, you guys better shoot me a message, okay, and let me know.
Yes, هخلي
عندي
حد
قبل العلمي.
يحاولوا.
Miss Yasmin,
Yes,
can you please wait for me? I'm entering the game now.
I will wait for you, Hannah. Don't worry, honey. Go ahead. I still only have seven people. Okay, so even if we're gonna take a little longer, I think we should just play it. I know that we have 8 minutes. There are only 10 questions, by the way, so we'll finish them quickly. Okay, so I take it that no one else is gonna join. Ahmed
Which
join.
is this chapter 9?
This is chapter
Yes,
9.
I'm joining.
Okay, Reem join. Good job, Reem.
I'm not in.
Adam, are you gonna join?
بس I joined بس 1 minute. I joined بس
Ahmed,
وطلعني.
always you with those names. Hameda Risho. Like what? Okay. Adam, you said you're gonna join her or no?
I joined.
You did?
Yes.
I can't.
Oh,
Oh,
I
yes,
see
you
you
did.
joining.
Yes, I see you. Perfect. All right, Hannah الحلوة. Is Hannah Magdi gonna join Hannah الحلوة or no? What about Hannah Durgam?
Miss, I'm joining. 1 minute.
Hannah Durgan.
Where are you, Hannah?
Oh.
Are you gonna join or what?
Between Kinsey and Maya.
Oh
She's
yeah,
in.
she is. I see that.
Miss Hannah Magdi is going to enter now.
Okay, she answered. I think Maya's here. Okay, so let's get started. I believe anybody else wants to join. Should I wait for them? Kinsey is here.
Mm.
Okay, should I start? Hala? Jana?
Start, yeah, start.
Maishi. Okay, I'm gonna start. All right, let's get started. Okay, let's see. Boxer refused to take a day off even though he had blank. Okay, great. He had a split hoof. Okay. There's always a reason to work. Okay, good. 11. All right, number 2. What was the small field beyond the orchid set aside for? What was it set aside for? This is for Napoleon, not the old one. Okay, what did Napoleon want to use it for? Okay, I'm just clarifying the question. Barley, perfect. It was saved for barley, not for corn. Okay, barley. Napoleon is going to plant barley. All the rations on the farm were reduced except for the rations of the food rations for all the animals was reduced. That means, lowered. Except for who? Except for the pigs and the dogs. Good. And we see that they are becoming fatter. Okay, the pigs, specifically, they were becoming chunkier. We're gonna see that also in chapter 10. How many pigs were born on the farm in autumn? Remember, the population of the pigs was increasing. And I want you, after you answer, who could tell me who was their father? Okay, we had a total of 31 pigs. Okay, there were 31 pigs that were born. And can someone tell me who's the parent, the father responsible? Who's the father? Nano?
And Napoleon, because he was the only boy on the farm.
Exactly. Perfect. Good job, Nano. All right, Nano's on fire. Good job. Perfect. Number 5. What was Napoleon's beer ration served to him in? All right, Napoleon's beer ration, he had a half a gallon all to himself, where there were other pigs had, I believe, a pint. Okay, where did he consume or drink his beer from? A bottle, a mug, one of Mrs. Jones's pots, or a crown nearby soup tureen? Okay, a crown nearby soup tureen. Okay, this is the correct answer. Bravo, Nano. All right, number 6. How often did the spontaneous demonstration occur? Okay, this is what Napoleon said to have. Is it once a week, 3 times a month, twice a week, or once every 2 weeks? It was once a week. Okay, once a week. Number 7, what did the animals now think that Snowball proclaimed at the Battle of the Cowshed? All right, what did basically they say that when Snowball entered during the Battle of the Cowshed, what did he scream? He said he screamed something out loud. What was it that he said? And that was a lie. They believed that he said long live humanity, and he did not say that. And they also said that the wound on his back was for Napoleon biting him. Why did Boxer fall? His lung collapsed. Okay, he was unable to breathe. His lung collapsed. Number 9, where did Napoleon send Boxer? The real answer, like in reality. Inshallah, we'll be able to finish in less than a minute and get the scores. Let's push to it. To the knackers, okay, of course. And this is the last question. Who claims to have been with Boxer for his last few hours? Who was with him by his bedside as he dies? Who claims to be that person? It was Squealer. Okay, let's see the podium. Okay, Judy is third place. Second place is Hannah Hamdi, bravo. And first place is Nano, bravo Nano. Great job Hannah and great job Judy. Perfect. Runners up Khadija and Adam. Good job. Great.